When did you realize your family saw you as expendable? My wife was trying to destroy me and nobody believed me. I always knew I was the forgotten middle child. My brother Steven could charm anyone while I was the one who quietly paid bills and showed up to work every day. My wife Claire seemed to think Steven was pretty amazing too. She'd light up whenever he walked into a room in ways she never did with me. The weird stuff started small. Claire would stay up late texting someone and quickly hide her phone when I walked in. Steven started coming over more often, always with some excuse about needing to check on Claire because I was apparently stressing her out. My family had always treated my anxiety like some character flaw, so when Claire started therapy for anxiety about my mood swings, everyone nodded along like it made perfect sense. Then I found birth control pills in her purse. We'd been trying for a baby for 8 months. I started paying attention, really paying attention. Claire would disappear for hours claiming she was at therapy. Steven would show up right after she left, acting all concerned about how I was handling things. My parents kept asking if I was taking my medication, even though I'd never been on any medication. The night I found their text messages, everything clicked. Screenshots of them planning to get rid of me permanently. Videos Claire had secretly recorded of me during arguments, edited to make me look unstable. Messages where Steven told her exactly how to trigger my anxiety in front of family members. They weren't just having an affair, they were systematically destroying my credibility. I decided to gather more evidence before confronting them. That was my first mistake. I should have known they were 10 steps ahead of me. At my dad's birthday barbecue, I finally showed everyone the screenshots. Claire immediately started crying and hyperventilating, telling everyone I'd been stalking and threatening them for weeks. Steven looked genuinely terrified as he showed the family fake text messages where I apparently threatened to unalive them both. Then Claire rolled up her sleeves and showed everyone the bruises. Perfect finger-shaped bruises on her arms. I'd never touched her, but the makeup job was flawless. She started having a full panic attack, gasping that I'd hit her the night before and threatened to do worse. Steven called 911 while my own father held me down. The paramedics took one look at the hysterical woman, the concerned brother, and the family all backing up their story about my episode, and that was it. 72 hours in psychiatric hold. While I was locked up, Steven and Claire visited every family member with a folder of evidence. Doctored therapy notes about my violent tendencies. Fake medical records showing I'd been hospitalized for suicidal ideation. Photos of what looked like a staged suicide attempt in our bathroom. By the time I got out, they'd moved into my house. Claire had filed a restraining order claiming I'd threatened to murder them both. The locks were changed, bank accounts transferred, and divorce papers filed citing mental cruelty and abandonment. My parents wouldn't even see me unless I admitted I had a problem. They'd held an intervention while I was committed, agreeing I needed long-term psychiatric care. 3 months later, Steven and Claire announced their pregnancy at Christmas dinner. My mom cried happy tears as they explained how their love grew from trauma bonding over surviving my abuse. The local church newsletter featured their story about overcoming domestic violence. I was living in a studio apartment, working at a gas station, completely erased from my own life. Claire was applying for domestic violence compensation funds, while Steven played the hero who saved her from her dangerous husband. The only person who believed me was a legal aid lawyer who'd seen cases like mine before. Turns out Steven had a fraud conviction from college, and Claire had restraining orders against 2 ex-boyfriends. We started building a case while I joined an online support group for people who'd survived family gaslighting campaigns. My old therapist from the psychiatric hold reached out privately 6 months later. She'd suspected the family's story was fabricated, but couldn't legally say anything at the time. She'd kept detailed notes about inconsistencies in their accounts. I never got my old life back, but I built something better with people who actually see me.